Salam, shalom. Wisest speaking. Peace and wisdom. Visit the website and all of that. You guys know the drill. I want to do this deep video. I was sitting in deep thought, receiving in wisdom as I always do. If I'm not clear, let me know. As I said, I was sitting, pondering as I do. I was pondering on wealth. Today I bought something. What I bought is not important. Meaning it's nothing big, it's nothing important. But in the purchase, sometime you'll be awakened or enlightened in your normal everyday. Wisdom's gonna come to you normal. You know, like in the movies, let me adjust this music. You know, like in the movies, there's this great light bulb that pops up. The moment of awakening or your moment of enlightenment, you view it to be this, you know, like the movies. Light bulb pops in the head or something divine happens. And in all truth, y'all get enlightened or awakening moments in the most common acts y'all do. Meaning we look for wisdom to come in great things or some, you know, come in some miraculous way. We never think like wisdom comes in. There's something that you do right now. You do it commonly. You pay no mind to it. In that action, there's a deep lesson for you, and you just haven't paid attention to it. So like I said, I got a deep revelation today. The revelation is this. Hopefully you guys grasp. We view wealth as something we're supposed to acquire to better ourselves, meaning better our lives and the people around us. Some of y'all ain't, you know, some of y'all ain't good people. So you just want to better. Some of y'all just want to better your own self. But you, I'm talking to you too. But for most, they view wealth as something that you acquire to better your own life and those around you. When I say better the life, I'm speaking like having more materials, more access to the things that poor people are kind of shut out from. And so for most people, whatever they tell you about wealth and them acquiring it, so for most of us, we know that's the perspective. Meaning most of y'all, if you do want to get wealth or you want to get more than you have now, it's for that purpose. And this is how we view wealth. And this is the ideal that's put into our mind from young. Meaning we're programmed. Most people don't accept these realities. This is what enlightenment is all about. Grasping the reality. In reality, we're programmed since birth. There has to be a moment when one becomes aware of that. Everything I think and all the ideals I hold, this was fashioned into my brain. I have yet to begin to think. If all I can use to think with is what I was programmed with. You get my point? We programmed under curriculum system from young. We programmed to say our ABCs a certain way. We programmed to learn how to spell and read a certain way. You get my point? We're programmed to, you get married, get a wife, kids, white picket, you get it? I'm using those as examples. We're given many different ideals or ideas of what we should do with our life. So there's like piles of things you can do or fall into. Maybe you can do this. Maybe you can do that. Most live their life and die never using their own mind and never thinking. Meaning we think thinking is like, I'm just sitting still and thinking. That's the program running. Behind that program, this goes deep, but I don't want to get off the topic. The topic being wealth. So let's stay there. Like I said, y'all get in my meditation moments. Like I said, I was sitting here meditating. This is when I put the ego and things aside. So if I seem a little sad or off, is that like I ain't got no ego right now. Or no I don't know how to explain it, but when you're dealing with wealth, we view it that way. Like you get wealth to better your life and those around you. That bettering of the life being a matter of the material items you have and the access. Like I said, that poor people are blocked off from. You have national parks, but you have elites that have access to all parts of these parks. Parts y'all never seen. These national parks is in y'all states. You get it? There's many places in life y'all don't even know of. It's not on the map. It don't need to be on the map. The map is for the people. You get my point? But there's many places that's right. There's places in y'all states y'all never seen. And it be like this. I would have never known this was here. Y'all don't just have underground subway systems. You get my point? Meaning you have to have a brain to think, okay, if they built an underground subway where people sit all day and commune and what else did they build underground that don't have nothing to do with us? What are they doing with the national parks and different mountains and caves we can't go in? Where do that go? So I'm saying that so y'all can grasp there's many aspects of life y'all haven't even begun to think of. There's many different aspects of life the poor or the common person is kept from. And so most people want to get wealth for these reasons, or this is the ideal we have in mind. Get wealth, better your life, better your family life. Now that's inaccurate. That's the programmed mind. Meaning we all put on that program for a reason. And that reason serves Babylon, or the city that you live in. Meaning when we have that perspective, wealth is, to better my life and those around me. This is a selfish ideal. It just has to do with the self and the circle. The world is big. The world is unfair and imbalanced. You get it? If somebody is blessed by the source of nature to acquire wealth, is to balance out all the oppressions, all the unfair things. You got to remember, the people that's acquiring wealth are coming from these oppressions and unfair things. And so they know. You get my point? Y'all know poverty. You ever hear somebody say, man, I come from the gutter or from poverty. I ain't scared to be broke. That ain't nothing. That's regular. You might have heard somebody wealthy say that. You might have heard somebody just say that. If your perspective is, I ain't scared to be poor because I come from that. It's nothing in life more scarier than being poor. What is? And not having nothing to fucking eat. What's more scarier? Poor people don't know what they come from. Meaning y'all scarred beyond what y'all could fathom. And so, this is not about that though. Let me get back on topic. Whoever's blessed to get wealth was blessed to get wealth for that. to balance out the imbalances, meaning all the wealth and the money is supposed to go to a specific purpose. That purpose being balancing out an unjust thing in life. You get my point? And so they were given just enough, however much wealth they got, to acquire that thing or to fix that imbalance. Whoever you see wealthy, you don't know what imbalances of things they were going through. And those imbalances and oppressions they were going through is the source of why they wanted to be rich. See, y'all never go to the starting thought that what make the person have wanted to be rich to begin with. That's that. That thing right there is what they got the wealth for, to fix that. Meaning wherever they was emotionally and mentally, as well as physically, meaning whatever poverty they were going through, that made them say, see, this ain't right. I need to get this money so I don't have to deal with this. That's the selfish mind. But you get my point? Whatever oppressions or imbalances they were going through or was raised up upon, the wealth is given for that. You get my point? And the wealth is supposed to go to that. Meaning the wealth is supposed to go to the world. It's the same way whoever you see wealthy, they get it from the world. You following? Whoever you see wealthy, they sell music, they sell this thing, that thing, whatever wealth they got, it come from the world. The wealth they acquire is supposed to go back to the world to fix the imbalances. For everything they buy or for every moment they go not fulfilling that, they bring upon themselves like a hardship. So if you wealthy, you like, ain't like you want it to be. Like, you getting the money, it's still like a cat and mouse game. You get the money, you spend it, then you gotta get more than you spend it. You get it? They get lost in that cycle because of that. Not fulfilling the purpose of what the wealth is for. And so all of y'all that's seeking out wealth, when you acquire it, is for that. Becoming aware of what imbalances is in life, fully grasping where you live at, meaning the city that y'all live in, going through COVID and all of this. If you are aware, you should have some sort of a perspective to truly understand the kind of city that you live in. A city is a Babylon. That's just the ancient name for a city, Babylon. And so you should have somewhat of a perspective now of how evil Babylon can get. And so outside of those things, there's oppressions and imbalances people have been living with for centuries. And so it's these things we supposed to balance out if we are blessed enough to acquire wealth. Because the wealth is coming from the world, but more than that, the natures in life is coming together for you. That's grace. You get my point? And so most get wealth and then they serve the Babylon, or the false perspective of where the wealth is coming from. You sign to a record company, you view the record company in that life as where you get the money from. You don't view it as the poor kids all over the ghettos is buying your album. Your wealth coming from the impoverished, not the wealthy. They teaching you how to exploit your own where you coming from. Am I telling you, well, go be poor and be? No. But you got a brain now. You got to know what. With gifts come curses. Life's a balance. So everything ain't gonna be easy. So that's the position you in. You got the wealth, the ideals and perspective is scrambled, but that wealth is coming from the impoverished. It's coming from where you come from. And so this is why you see the stars having so much hardship. And this is why you see people get wealthy, but it don't seem like a place of divinity is reached. They become divine looking in coverings, like I'm iced out. Look how I drive. But the soul never reached that place where you kind of look at them and say, man, they kind of above that. There's some people, I probably don't wear jewelry ever. And some of y'all probably look at it like, man, if I seen Silas with jewelry on, I would think like he going to his old ways. You view me as above that. You get it? Meaning somebody that's lost in the wealth and jewels and all these things, you won't get what I'm saying. But you can bring yourself to a place higher than that. Where, you get it? You kind of perceived as better. Think of the Pope. The Pope pulled up with a Lamborghini. Y'all know the Pope got Lamborghini money. He got more money than Lamborghini money. You get the Pope is the Pope. He run the whole Vatican City. What's a Lamborghini to him? If y'all seen the Pope in a Lamborghini, y'all will look like, damn, he giving up his divinity. Or he giving up his great status. You get it? It's like when the Prince, not Prince Charles, the other one, that's married to Meghan Markle, I think. They like regular people to y'all now. I'm like, damn, why they why they left over there? They over here with us. But now the way y'all deal with them like they regulars. You get my point? Like that. We can become viewed by the materials that we cover ourselves in. And that's just regular. Meaning whoever got on the big Cuban link and the big watch, so y'all just view them as the same. Like, I want one too type of thing. You don't view them as like, oh, it's just they all got one. It's like Jordans. You got Jordans, he got the new Jordans, so we all got them. No biggie. Behind that, y'all all got different kind of value and worth that can be greater than the materials. Where people view y'all as greater than the materials y'all try to put on yourselves for them to view y'all in that way. You get my point? So it's about finding that. You can get your wealth or whatever wealth you acquire. Fix the imbalances in life. High leverage said the Pope has a Lamborghini to go with this knowledge. If the Pope has a Lamborghini or not, I'm sure the Pope does have a Lamborghini. But it's not something he parade around. You get it? He don't have to. He greater than that. That's not going to do nothing. You get it? He has raised to a place in the perspective of people where it don't matter if y'all see him with a Lamborghini or whatever. Y'all know he above that. It's like Queen Elizabeth. She owned fucking 50 dolphins, nigga. Like, she owns shit. Y'all like, why who even care if you got that? What does it matter? Wealth like that, where they kind of above it. Then you got people that y'all don't even associate with wealth, like the Pope. But he got a great status and honor to y'all with. You get my point? Now, I'm not saying these is honorable people, but I'm just giving you the perspective. Y'all got a greater wealth behind the wealth y'all cover yourself in. And that wealth is supposed to go back into the life fixing an imbalance. To give you an example, you got parts in Africa, in every country, but I'm just using Africa because I know y'all familiar with that. You got places in Africa that got great imbalance. All it take is, you got places in Africa where they ain't even got running water in sewer system. You get it? They shitting in the same river that they drink from. A few million will fix that small issue. You get my point? But these millions will go to other things. Now, I know a lot of y'all lost. Y'all might have me as a millionaire or something. If you don't, good. But we live in those times where y'all think whoever y'all see, you get my point, is some kind of wealthy. I'm not wealthy. I'm like anybody that got a regular job. You get my point? If you make like 30, 40, $50 an hour, I ain't do the math, but I'm just a nigga that work a regular job, but it's just my own. So you get it like that. I don't know how to explain it. I'm not rich though. I'm like y'all that watch me. Meaning I don't have to be rich to give. You get my point? When you come from the ghetto, so you should be used to sharing. You ain't really got much, but you share that shit. Whoever with you, like that. I'm saying what I'm saying because in real life I give. Person might ask me for some money, I'll give it to them. In that, y'all perspective may become altered. I grow up with you, I pull up, you let me get $100 and I just give it to you. Like, yeah. The perspective might go like, oh, he getting that bag. You see how easy he just gave that up? I ain't in the place we was in before spiritually, where I'm holding on. Get it? Whoever asks for something can have it. Niggas dying over this shit. You know what? Nigga ask you for some shit you would have gave to him. He'll kill you for that shit later. So you get my point? I just live a giving life. That's why I always say give back. There's no going around that. Like, meaning there's no going around me giving. I have to give. Not in the way y'all do where it's like a circus or a show, but just like that. The point I'm making is people perspective may get lost. Say this nigga might be rich or something. Got a nice big chunk of money somewhere. No. I just have a brain. It's really ordered. So the same way a scramble-minded person can blow millions, a clear-minded person can make a little bit, go as far as a million. It's all dependent on how you twerk your thing. But the point I'm making is if any of y'all blessed to acquire wealth, remember that. The wealth is to put back into the life. The imbalances that you more than likely coming from. And so hopefully you are aware. Meaning hopefully y'all are self-aware as I always tell y'all to be. Meaning be self-aware of the state of yourself within. Meaning your inner conditions, your mind, your spirit, or your emotional state. When I say spirit, y'all can go anywhere with that. But the spirit, that's the emotional state. You want to reflect. Make sure these things is up to par. Now, when men do acquire wealth, what happens is it doesn't go back into the life. It goes into what I said. Some selfish nature of some sort. Meaning it goes back into themselves and whoever's closest to them. Then the masses hate them. Got mad haters. That's how the wealthy get haters. It's the natures of life bringing the balance. You don't do what you're supposed to do with the wealth. You don't even have a mind to know that the wealth is for a purpose greater than you. But you get it? Receive and have all that you desire regardless when you fulfill it. Meaning in your fulfilling the purpose, you get everything you wanted anyway. Everybody else do too in perspective. You get it? We live in a competitive environment. And so y'all don't want everybody else to have stuff. Just you. So you can stand out. But when that part of the mind is kind of set aside, then you grasp like, it don't matter if everybody got wealth too, just as long as I got some. My shit. You get it? Y'all mind is more like, I want to be the richest. Kanye West wanted to be a billionaire or beyond that. Because all his peers ain't that. You get it? It ain't just enough like he got billions, his homies got millions, and that's good. We good. That's good. Y'all have a nature about y'all that want to compete without saying. And so you get my point? This is when the world starts to hate The wealthy. The wealthy will take that in. Meaning even the stars that y'all love to death and everybody loves them, they still think people hate them. Somewhere. I'm saying that so the star could grasp. Or the wealthy can grasp. It's a matter of that. We get wealth, we don't do what we supposed to. Then all the natures of life start to cave in slowly. And so I have something that I have to do with whatever wealth I have. Well, I don't have any wealth, but I'm working towards it. So, like, whatever wealth I acquire along the way, I have to remember what I just told y'all. And I'm telling y'all for that reason. Like I said, I was meditating. I get my deep lessons for self like that. And I keep, I try to stay on the course. So, everybody's supposed to find that purpose, that imbalance in life that they're working to acquire wealth. It don't matter what you do. If you working, so life's a balance. You need to be compensated for your work. And so when you working to acquire your wealth, because everybody got to be compensated for their work, that wealth got a purpose for it already. You get it? And we supposed to fulfill that purpose. That purpose being every imbalance y'all can see. When I say imbalance, I'm talking unfair. You got people that got way more than they supposed to have or way more than they need. You got people that can't even get their needs met. That's an imbalance. That can be fixed, but ain't nobody fixing it. And so you get my point? It's a deep thing. Men get wealthy, they forget where they come from. There was a time where only the king was wealthy. And all the people in the city were just regular people. They get to see the king be wealthy. In his court, maybe. But just the king is wealthy. It's just a one-man show. And so everybody in life come from the poor side. unless you're the descendant of somebody that was a king, and you know that because you own a city somewhere. You coming from the poor side. Or your ancestry line is, and somebody before you acquired some wealth, left it to you. It wasn't put back into fixing certain imbalances in life. When the imbalances in life is fixed, we'll all live a heaven. Meaning physical life is heaven. Or it can be hell. So what y'all make it. Meaning y'all can make it a murderous, disgusting, slimy, lie-filled place. Or y'all can make it what it was supposed to be, which is heaven. If you say physical life ain't supposed to be heaven, every aspect of life supposed to be heaven and good. You get hell when motherfuckers lose their perspective. There's no aspect of life you should be looking at like, no, it ain't supposed to be heavenly. Wow. Every part of life supposed to be great and heavenly, and you get all the hell and things that y'all know that ain't just and good from the imbalances. I cheat you, this is an imbalance, this is an unfair. You gonna pass that on. If you can't cheat me back, you gonna cheat somebody. So it's a deep thing. Are y'all grasping? Peace and wisdom, Morgan Alexander, Walter Gray. Now, like I said, y'all interfering with my meditation time. Meditation. Meditation has many aspects. Y'all learn it however y'all do. Meaning most people think meditating has to do with sitting still with the legs crossed and the hands in a strange position. That's not nothing. That's a show. at me. Y'all know that too. If you do that, don't take offense. I'm not speaking directly to you. Everybody does the same thing, so program mind. Meditation has an aspect of healing, meaning we supposed to heal ourselves with the mind. Not talking magic trick stuff or wherever your perspective is lost into movies and foolishness. I'm talking the way the thoughts work. The mind heals if one understands the mind. And so sometimes y'all thoughts could throw y'all into a sick state. Meaning sometimes y'all might overthink things, give yourselves a headache, make yourselves nauseous. It can work in reverse. Of course, the body heals itself from physical wound. This is coming from inside though. Y'all get a cut? The healing forces within is making it heal. And so the point I'm trying to get y'all to grasp, the mind heals itself or the body heals itself. If one learn how to meditate, which is like a self-medicating thing, if you know how to do it, so you have an aspect of meditation for that, for healing yourself. I'm saying it so y'all can grasp. You have meditation, many different forms of it. One form of meditation is to heal yourself. Right now, y'all at a place where y'all seek for medicines outside of self. Y'all seek all assistance outside of self. So this has to do with being self-aware, reflecting on self, and being aware of self, like how you feel in certain moments, how you feel at nighttime as opposed to the day. And then it's a whole process. A lot of y'all don't realize. Y'all think it's, when you walk in a certain path of wisdom, it's things like that. Meaning it's not just talking. Look at this new thing I can tell you. It's that you spend this week observing how you feel in the day as opposed to the night. Let me know if it's the same feeling or does it change. Halfway through the week, does it reverse? Like you feel like how you felt that night in the day now, and then that night you feel, you get it? Or is it the same? Just a steady flow. And you feel like this in the day and that in the night. When you become aware of things like that, so okay, I see, I feel like that. Now when a year time pass, okay, be aware of how you feel during each season. When summer come in, do you feel nauseous and sick? In winter, spring, you get it? Fall. Y'all have cycles that coincide with the outer, but y'all don't pay attention to self. Each of y'all have a season that don't coincide with the self. And you struggle during that season, but you don't pay attention. You get it? Y'all not aware of nothing that I'm saying right now. To even measure it, to say, okay. Meaning most of y'all never observed yourself for a year like that. To say, okay, this is spring. And observe how you feel as spring is transitioning into summer. Feel like your emotional state. Health-wise, like do you feel nauseous, irritated in the eyes, and how do you feel in every aspect of feeling? How's the clarity of the mind? Is your thoughts jambling? Are you anxious? Like, what's the state of self? Y'all have a season that y'all can go to the pinnacles of y'all divinity in, and then y'all have seasons that contradict the self. When I say seasons, I'm talking summer, spring, winter, fall. Y'all live in that cycle. It plays an effect on y'all internal self. This is what I teach, meaning for those that take it serious. So it's a process. But you here and you alive, and so the same way y'all entertain other things, there's a whole lot with the self that you can entertain. In this, you start to notice things like, at this time of night, I can get divine thought. For some reason, my brain worked different. Y'all ain't aware of every aspect of self and how it coincides with the outer. Like how you are at this time, how you are at that time. And so, of course, it's more than what I just said. I'm just giving you a few examples. like I said, most of y'all probably figure it's just talking. Like, I'm gonna have a one-on-one with Solace, and I'm ready to walk my path of wisdom. And then you probably figure like I'm just gonna talk you to death. It don't got nothing to do with me. It's just assignments. This week, do that. And then when you're done, you come back. We gonna sort through it. You get my point? I'm just guiding you, like you sort through your own self and kind of, like I said, you have to have an assignment to know what you're doing. Otherwise, it just becomes I'm sitting still and I'm meditating with my hands like this and nothing's being done. Just sitting there thinking about whatever, and you get it? That's not meditating. That's just like a kid playing. And so, like I said, you got meditation that has to do with healing self. Of course, all of this is a path, so you got different kinds of meditation. The healing self, you got meditation where you can open up the mind so you can pull in, deep thought or deep knowledge of things that y'all don't know or think that man can't know. Meaning it's deep things that y'all wonder about. The answer's within your mind space. You just don't know how to meditate for that. You get my point? Just like you have meditations for healing yourself, and it has nothing to do with pulling in deep thought. Meditation for healing yourself has to do with understanding what thoughts affect your emotional state. When the thoughts come into the emotions, this is when the airs, which is like thought, manifest into substance. You have different substances within yourself. You get my point? You can associate happiness with dopamine. I'm just giving you an example. The pinnacles of happiness is orgasm. This is a substance, meaning every feeling that y'all feel is a substance. Y'all only have the feeling because the substance. You get my point? Pain is a substance. Mucus, phlegm, pus, the different stages of this pain. Meaning you got different levels of pain. You got different levels of mucus. It can be phlegm, pus, which is like clay almost. And whether y'all have pus, mucus, or phlegm, so y'all have pain. If the nose is, snotty and mucusy, say, man, my nose is irritated. If that mucus get thicker to like phlegm, then y'all say my throat burn. Ugh, it hurt. Your throat hurt because you got phlegm in it. The wise man told you, pain is a substance. Y'all think pain is this feeling, like pain is that. Wherever you feel pain, there's mucus, phlegm, or pus there internally. Of course, it will emerge out if it goes too long, but I'm giving you that example so you can grasp. Oh yeah, pain is a substance then. Happiness is too. Y'all ejaculate out semen. This is the opposite of mucus and pus. Meaning semen look just like mucus, pus. You get it? Pain or sadness, meaning sadness and pain is the same thing. Sadness will evolve into pain. Happiness will evolve into pleasure. You get it? And opposites. Now notice how the substances is perfectly opposite. Pain, sadness and pain is mucus. Thick, nasty, brownish looking shit. But if you look at it, you will realize, damn, it looked just like semen. Dirty. Like dirty semen. That part. Semen is associated with orgasm. This is the pinnacles of happiness. This is pleasure. And so you see how when I say what I say, the words are opposite in the substance. Y'all know mucus. Y'all know semen or ejaculation. Whether man or woman, you know ejaculation. Mucus, because that's what follows when y'all reach the pinnacles of pleasure. And so any feeling you can think of, even love, is a substance. This is why it's always told you y'all be loving inside. Have love for others. have love inside because love is a substance. Some of the substances that we produce inside are medicinal, some toxic. Love is a medicinal substance that will heal you. This is how y'all heal yourselves from cuts and things. Not from love, but from the many different substances that the body, you know, the body releases when we in certain emotional states. That's why you have to control your thoughts, because the thoughts will become emotions. And once you into your emotions, you're in the substance. This is why y'all may cry out salty waters, which ain't healthy. You crying because the emotional state and the thought ain't healthy. You get my point? And so any feeling you could think of, no matter what it is, meaning any emotional state you could think of, is a substance. This has to do with the mind, meaning what you're thinking about. And so when I tell you guys mental healing, and I teach that, it has to do with that. Meaning the things I teach y'all are literal. It's not something you just say, oh, okay, I heard what he said. It's a practice. You have to get familiar with that. Like, okay, when I'm happy, I'm releasing a certain substance. Of course, if I continue on happiness and it goes to the pinnacle, which is pleasure, I'll orgasm. We're not speaking of that, though. Of course, y'all know semen. This is a divine substance. They don't pay y'all at the sperm bank for nothing for it. But the point I'm making is when you're happy, sad, excited, this is a certain state of the mind. Because you was in a certain kind of thought or state of mind, it tapped into your emotional state, making you happy, sad, excited, whatever. In those moments when y'all feeling different emotions, y'all are releasing certain substances within self. These substances can be medicinal or toxic. It all depends on the emotional state. And so I teach that. Exactly which emotional state is exactly which substance. The same way I did with pain. Pain has different levels. You have different levels of mucus. Mucus will become phlegm. This is thicker. Phlegm will become pus. This is almost like clay. So on and so forth. These are your levels of pain. If y'all have a injury that's causing pus to come out, that area raw and tender, boy. If y'all got a little swelling with a little mucus or pus in it, you get it? It hurts. Once the pus is drained, then y'all good of the pain. The nose full of snot and mucus and phlegm, the throat hurt, the nose hurt. It's the substance that's causing the feeling. Meaning if you remove the substance, y'all won't have feeling. Y'all only can feel happy because of a substance. Y'all body release that substance when y'all mind tap into a certain frequency. You get my point? Other than that, y'all wouldn't have feelings. Y'all just be like blank. Never happy, never sad, never nothing. Never releasing substance within self, always just clear-minded, manifesting clear, perfect waters. I'm of course in that y'all will be healthy, but it goes deep. Hopefully y'all grasp. Thank you, Quentin Whitefield, for the gift back. That's how mental healing works. Meaning you have to learn those different things. Of course, I teach it to you. Each substance and what thought it associates with. From there, now you have to monitor your thinking. Now you know this thought will make you go into this emotional state. You got this little thing that happened in your past that you think about ever so often. Well, yeah, it brings you into this emotional state. When you go into that emotional state, this is the substance you manifesting. It could be serotonin, dopamine. Meaning you have many different substances that your body manifests. Sometimes these substances mix. This is alchemy. Meaning sometimes y'all have different feelings simultaneously. Then y'all mixing substances inside yourselves, not realizing it. And so it's the understandings of all of that. In that you can control your thoughts. Meaning, if I need to heal myself of a certain sickness that I know I might be suffering from, I know what thought will produce which substance is needed to heal that. Now all I have to do is go into deep thought to keep my mind in a certain thought pattern so that I stay in a certain feeling. As long as I'm in that feeling, my body is manifesting that substance and it will heal me. You get it? Let's say it takes a day. So I need to like at least be in that mind frame for 2 hours. So you may see someone sitting still meditating. A monk, somebody that knows meditation good. This is this is different things that they're doing. They're not just sitting still like y'all in Dodo Bird land pretending. If you see me sitting still meditating, where I got my legs crossed and stuff, it's because of that. Put my mind in a certain state of thought so I can put my emotional state in a certain state. You get it? If I tell you right now, make yourself happy, you say I can't. If you say yeah I can, but you like I gotta think of something first. You get it? I, play this song for me maybe. This song used to make me like get happy. You need an assistance to make you snap into the emotional state. Your mind can do that. Some of y'all can do it on your own. If I say get angry, so you say, let me think of something that pisses me off all the time. And you could drive yourself to that state. Think of a dude that cheated on you, or a girl that cheated on you, and you still disturbed by it. Now I say, now think hard on it on a real level though, and explore your angers on it. Because you know, we go through hardship or hurt, and we try to avoid it, even though it still like creeps up. So go ahead and dive deep into it. Get as mad as you could get. Like that. You'll be manifesting substance and self. That's going to be toxic, but I'm just giving you the example. You meditating to put yourself into a certain emotional state. Once you get into that emotional state, then you hold the frequency. It's just like once y'all get mad, then y'all hold the frequency. Y'all in feeling now. There's no thought anymore. A person say, yo, you should relax, bro. You getting too mad. You gonna fuck up. You don't hear nothing they say. You like, get the fuck out. My face is going down, and that's that. And you can get some of this too. You don't hear nothing no more. There's no thought no more. Meaning once y'all tap into the emotional state, I don't care if you in love. And say love is blind. Because once a woman or a man fall in love, then they don't think no more. They're in feeling. Once you're in feeling, you're manifesting the substance. Now when y'all first fall in love, so y'all be all happy and glowing and healing the self, not realizing it. But at some point, it transcends. Y'all start to get aggravated with one another, and then you get my point. Y'all start to make each other sick. Y'all don't understand these things. The emotional state, meditation, many different things. Crystal Jefferson says, so while we are sleeping, is the body making clear waters because we are not interfering? You're sleeping, you could be dreaming. I don't know how clear your minds is when y'all sleep. Y'all don't either. But when you sleep and the mind goes unconscious, it's for that purpose. To give the body a moment of flushing. All day y'all thinking and going through different emotions. Y'all releasing different substances. Sometimes they're mixing. You get it? By night's end, well, of course, all these substances mixing and merging. At some point, y'all about to clock out. You've gotten yourself drunk through the day. So you're like, I'm tired. Same way when a person get drunk, I'm about to pass out. Right? It's the same thing. Y'all think a whole bunch of shit, feel a whole bunch of different ways. You just are mixing and merging substances all in yourself. Some of these substances are hallucinogenic, some of them medicinal, some of them toxic. And so y'all just getting yourself drunk all day, going through the emotions until y'all pass out. When y'all pass out, then the mind goes clear and the body is supposed to be being flushed. Most people, there's no going to sleep ritual. Meaning before I go to sleep, I set myself down. There's a moment of reflection. Okay, I'm about to go to sleep. I don't think y'all hear me. Like, y'all watch TV until y'all pass out. Y'all will drink until y'all pass out, smoke until y'all pass out. Your mind goes into sleep in that state. Y'all wake up not well rested. Y'all wake up in angry spirit. Y'all might have a certain kind of dream. There's no separating one day from the next. Say, I'm about to go to sleep. Whatever happened today, from this moment to right now, is done with. You need to go to sleep now. Clear the mind and the emotional state out. Go to sleep in your divinity. That's why you may hear people say, I don't want to go to sleep angry, like when they married. You don't want to go to sleep no kind of way, even if you single. Like, before you go to bed every night, this is little baby death. You get it? You need to take a moment with self. Some of y'all so high on life, you don't realize every night when you fall asleep could be your last night. You ain't definitely got to wake up out of that abyss. Ain't in your control. And so before you go to sleep, there should be at least a 30-second, 40-second separation. Meaning truly y'all supposed to fall asleep, you know, not watching the TV or drinking self to sleep where you just pass out or doing this thing or that thing until you completely exhausted and just, there should be a moment of stillness where you to yourself thinking, no distractions, left to yourself, let the mind go where it wants. You get it? Y'all distract self. You watch TV till you fall out. There's not a moment of, okay, the day's over with, I'm cutting the TV off, the lights off, and now I'm going to lay here. I know I'm not going to fall asleep right in this moment, but so this is my time for self. You sit, reflect, let the mind clock out on a peaceful note. In that, you wake up in better spirit. You wake up with more purpose in self. Y'all yesterday is just today. It's no ends in y'all days truly. Y'all see yesterday is yesterday, but you carry everything over from yesterday to today. Niggas that pissed you off last year, you still mad at them, you carried that over too. All those days you carried it over. You're not never gonna let it go either. You're gonna carry it with that's your bag. And so y'all rack up these things daily, meaning y'all rack up angers and many different emotional states. And y'all bring it with y'all from day to day. It's like bringing baggage. It's like moving into a new mansion, bringing all your baggage from the old shit. Y'all move into the new day with yesterday's dirt. There has to be a moment of separation when you falling asleep. I apologize, y'all. I have to use the restroom. Give me a second. Oh. I'm back. Now, where was I at? Oh, meditation. Like I said, meditation is a deep thing. Most of you guys, when y'all fake and pretend like y'all know things, or you learn it empty, where you don't seek out to really get clarity. Like, this is stupid how I learned it. I don't get nothing out of this. When y'all become real with self, so you get my point? Meditation is a process, like what I was explaining to y'all. You got aspects. The healing aspect of self. This is for those that, you get it? Look at it like karate. This is more like black belt stuff. When you get to a certain level of meditation, then you will be able to heal self. You won't get sick. You're healing self, catching things ahead of time. Meaning, if y'all do like I said, study under me where you get, every piece of everything, not just the little pieces I spill right here. These just examples so you can get a full perspective. Like, it goes deeper than whatever y'all thinking. But if you take the time out and go through the steps and you become aware of yourself and your seasons and what seasons contradict with you, which seasons is, you get it? Like I was explaining, you can catch sickness before it comes. Meaning you're aware of yourself throughout that year. You already know, man, and when I feel like this, I know sickness coming. Because this is how I felt every time right before I was about to get sick. Everything is revolving. So you can learn from that revolution. Y'all have day, night, then y'all fall asleep, wake up, day, night, fall asleep. This happens thousands and thousands of days during y'all existence. Meaning if you live to 100, 365 days is a year. 4 years is past 1,000 days. Y'all go through this thousands and thousands of days so that y'all can become observant and aware of what's transpiring. You get it? How the outer has an effect on self and how to remove self from the outer cycle. Where y'all get ping pong into different emotional states, different reoccurring thoughts. These things not being healthy for y'all. And so you get my point? You have meditations for that, which has to do with healing self. Like I said, you have meditations that have to do with going deep into, the sacred parts of the mind space. But this has to do when one reaches, like I said, this is like black belt stuff. When you get to a place where you know how to control your emotional state, clear the mind out. When I say clear the mind out, I mean no thought. Get this self to the state y'all at when y'all unconscious. But you're conscious, of course. You have to be, advanced to do that on the real level. Meaning most people can be still and quiet, but they can't get the mind to truly just stop thinking or moving while they just sit there and become the observer. You get my point? Meaning you have to get the mind to stop all the way to separate self. Meaning you can't stop the mind from running. You only got control over your part of it. You get it? The other part is for the source. And that source is in us all. But you control your part. And so, to separate self so you become the observer and not what's getting dragged all along, you got to get the mind to a place of stillness where there's no thought. Just emptiness. In that, you can kind of separate self. Now, whatever thoughts and emotional states may pass by while you in, meditative thought, basically awake with the eyes closed, trying to keep the thoughts from coming in. You're trying to keep the thoughts from coming in so you can just get a quick moment of control or separation. You get it? You're not trying to get the thoughts to stop, where you just, that's unconscious. The most you could do is a quick moment of that. Meaning the most y'all can do is stop the thoughts for maybe 3 seconds. Somebody well advanced, shit, maybe 30. But that's just enough to change the perspective or slip out. Meaning you have thoughts keep passing by in your mind. If you can stop it just for 3 seconds, you can slip out. Now when the thoughts is passing by, you're on the outside looking in. Say, oh, that's an angry thought. That would have made me mad. I know that thought. I get that shit all the time. You like that? Y'all got thoughts that y'all been dealing with that come on their own schedule now and y'all ain't even aware of it because y'all haven't taken a moment out to reflect on self or observe self in that way. Some of y'all went through certain things, and ever so often this thing pops in your mind and pisses you off. But you don't observe self, so you don't even realize that it always pops in your mind at a certain time, a recurring certain time. It may be a certain time of the day. It may be a certain time like every Wednesday. But you don't realize it because you're not observing self like how you is on Monday, how you eat it. So why would you catch that like that? Meaning there's deep things to the self. But the self has to be separated from all the aspects that have been thrown on the self. Y'all hardship, the things that y'all went through that's still in the mind, these is things that was pushed on y'all or that y'all took on y'all and won't let go. And kind of hold on to y'all baggage. So it makes for good soil for manifesting more hurt. And so like I said, you have meditation where you can do that. Remove self from self so you can get a clearer perspective of self in what's transpiring with self. In terms of y'all every day, why y'all not happy, why you not getting the most out your day, or whatever the case may be with you. This will help you with that. You have other aspects of meditation where, like I said, is for you to access deep unknown truths or knowledges in life. But you have to get the self to a certain state. This has to do with like head covering and isolating self in. Meaning when the head is covered, it puts the mind set into a different state. When y'all wear hoodies, y'all get a little more, the countenance come down. You get it? I don't care who you are, try it. Put on a hoodie, throw the hood on, and be aware of it. And you're going to feel like, yeah, once I put the hood on, my vision even changed a little bit. I feel different around the neck, and you get it? If you got on a hoodie right now, try it. You got the hoodie on, you're going to feel clear all around the head, and put it on. And watch how you feel cloaked. That little change of feeling is going to grow every second the hood is on the head, changing the state of the mind. You get it? Bringing the countenance down, bringing the thoughts down. If you lock self into a room, or you see how y'all like work indoors, then y'all in the house most of the day? This plays a perspective on y'all mind, or y'all perspective the same way the hood does. You get it? Meaning the head being covered or the whole vessel being covered. When I say covered, I mean like you inside of a cave or a house or an office building. You are separating yourself off from life. You get it? The outdoors, the air, the sun, all the different lights, the moon too. You separating self no different than when you put a hood over your head. You're kind of cutting self off from the moment. Y'all lose a lot of y'all senses when y'all have a hoodie on. This is why when y'all have on a hoodie or headphones, you get it? The peripheral get a little, y'all senses go away. Meaning put your hoodie on, you gonna feel like, man, somebody might have run up on me, man. I ain't got full sense power like how I'm used to it. Some of y'all ain't aware of self at all, so you probably like, I don't even notice that. In that way, how can I put it? When the head is covered, so it drops the countenance, changes the perspective of the mind. When you lock self indoors for an imbalanced amount of time, so it does the same to the mind as well as the emotional state, meaning it's more powerful. This is something that can be done to acquire deep levels of knowledge. If the emotional state in the mind is dirty, meaning y'all have whatever baggage y'all have bagged up in there, never having dealt with the parts of self, the emotional problems and things that disturb you, these thoughts, these desires, to do what I said, meaning to lock self in an isolated area for a time just so you can access, you know, deep unknown knowledge that you wouldn't know otherwise. Your emotional state and your mind got to be clear. You do that, disturb emotional state, you're going to put self, it's like pulling in God knowledge or pulling in evil knowledge. So magicians will do the same ritual, but they'll come out of it as a magician doing strange devilly things where y'all would like classify it as that. David Blaine shit. We stick a whole knife through his arm and y'all like, man, that ain't no trick, blood. You just stabbed you. That ain't a trick. You really stabbed yourself. How'd you do that? Like that. Our person can go into that same environment, but this person being pure inside, pure minded, meaning no evil intent, no strange desire, just a desire for wisdom, for the self. This person will go in the same way the magician or the dirty spirited person will come out a magician with their assistance, and they seem to be like they have a great power. Well, you will go into that same ritual and come out like how I am, where y'all say, damn, this nigga wise as shit. He know things I wouldn't. I don't know how you know that. I'm just as amazing as the magician on a mind level. No trick included. You pull a rabbit out the hat. I could tell you some shit you never even thought about. And you gonna know it's real. It's just like a rabbit out the hat. And you say, damn, how'd he know that? How the fuck did he know that? Same way, you say, how the fuck did he pull the rabbit out the hat? Where'd the rabbit come from? Devil God, you get it? One come out with the mind clear and with a knowledge that it's like magic. Like, how does he know that? And the other one come out with his tricks. So you know, like, okay, devil and God is within self, like I told y'all before. It's being states of the mind, states of the emotion that y'all can tap into. The pinnacle opposite part of self, meaning you dual in nature, and you the middle factor, meaning you have a dual nature. This is the extremes of self. You're usually in between or shuffling in through your dual nature. Nice 1 minute, bad the next, so on and so forth. Y'all never commit to one side and go to the extremes of it. I'm going to embrace my devil side and just go to the extremes of it. I'm going to embrace my God side and go to the extremes of it. I'm going to be divine. I'm not going to do nothing wrong. I'm not going to think nothing wrong. I'm going to show everybody in life like that. Go into the extremes of your dual side, whichever side you choose. Most don't do that, but that can be done. When it's done, so you get it, I have magical wisdom in perspective, where it's like, damn, he wise on the divine level. I ain't never heard nobody that wise before and explain shit like that before. Same with the magician. He come out there, he went to the pinnacles of his dual, he went to the pinnacles of the devil side of his dual nature, the lie trick side. You get it? And so he has deep tricks where you like, damn, how'd he do that? That's real. You get it? But that can't serve him in the end. The deep wisdom I got can. I can heal myself. I can do many different things with the wisdom that I have. Y'all are witness. Y'all ain't never seen me sick. When? Y'all have been sick hella times during these 6-7 years I've been teaching. When you seen me sick? And remember, I'm in real life, so people see me every day. There's nobody that's going to be able to tell y'all, yeah, I seen him sick. He had a cold. Say, I ain't never seen the nigga sick. always the same. That's not amazing to y'all? Again, y'all been watching me for every day. For how long? When was I sick? You like, damn, so I was sick. That part. Never. And so when I tell y'all about health and different things, because y'all not observant of y'allself, y'all can't even realize those things to say, hold on. Dude don't ever get sick. He like a vampire. I don't even barely age. You get my point? I take my hat off, y'all see my gray hair. But if I cut it off or dye it, I don't even really age. That's for a reason. I keep a certain frequency, certain vibration, the same way y'all on a certain vibration. It's a destructive one, so y'all can go on y'all decline. I'm not on that destructive vibration. And so I keep my childlike nature. If you wondering like why he look like a little boy, childlike nature. I'm aging like 50 times slower than y'all, physically, but mentally not. Just physically, like my daughter gonna look older than me. Like, when I turn 60, she gonna be like 40. She gonna look older than I do, unless I show my grades or whatever little aspects of age I get by then. But you get my point? It's a frequency, a vibration, a way of life. I have to learn it. Like, or y'all can learn the falsehoods that y'all got now. It ain't serving y'all though. It's because y'all are put in place to serve these things. What I teach is to serve self, finding self, self-perfection. This don't have nothing to do with nobody else. You being more perfect than others. This is you being more perfect than you was yesterday. Putting work into self every day. The same way y'all put work in all kind of things. And build these things up, but never the self. You take a time with the self, reflect, learn the meditation. I have my own meditations, but learn my meditations like the ones I was explaining. There's others, I didn't get to get to them, but learn and you take your time out every day, an hour of the day, whatever, doing one of the many different practices, let's say I'll teach you. So today you might say, man, I feel a little, my neck is a little restricted, so I know there's mucus there. That's going to evolve into a headache tomorrow. This is you after you've been studying under me. So now you know certain things. You like, yeah, my temple hurt. My nose is stuffy. My face feel restricted right here. So you know every aspect of self now. You're like, damn, my eyes getting tight right there. I know what that means. Vitamin D low. I'm cold-blooded with this shit. So you be like that. And then you take your time out every day. You'll say, today, man, my neck a little tight, so I'm doing my yoga. Because I do yoga, meditation, different things, but not the way y'all do it. Where it's like exploiting the thing to be seen. I don't feel comfortable doing yoga in front of y'all because my yoga got to do with the inner thighs. Once that get restricted, you get it? It comes right into the lower gut. And that's when we get them little back pains or your sides feel tight. And you like, damn, my lower stomach and my little side by my ribs is a little tight. Y'all usually think that's from eating. Say, man, I think I ate too much. My ribs is, or my hips. You get it? You know when you move your body and you feel like it's a little tight. Like that. You letting, y'all let, y'all let the sickness build up from below slowly. It gets to the inner thighs. If most of y'all take y'all leg and stretch it open, you gonna be like, oh yeah, my inner thigh tight than you mother. God dang it. Like that. That restriction is restriction of the mind. The mucus in that part of the mind and that part of the leg building up, causing it to restrict and, pain. And so you like, I'm gonna do my yoga today. And this has to do with your stretching and breathing. That's why I say whatever I teach, it might be different than what you know. Forget your perspective. You could do what you do on your own time. If you come to learn from me, you got to cleanse your mind out so you can learn without any adding, because that's going to throw you off where you're not going to get the results. But if you're studying under me, you're doing your yoga, there's breathing included with it. Meaning for every stretch, there's a certain breathing you need to do. You have to look at it like when I'm stretching, it's to get oxygen in an area that normally will be restricted. I'm sitting like this, I breathe in, oxygen ain't flowing all through every crevice because I'm restricted. If my head is pointed down, this affects my breathing. If my head is up, affects my breathing. When y'all get a nosebleed, y'all put y'all head up, it goes away. If y'all get stuffy nose and y'all put y'all head up, it'll start to clear out. This is the head clearing out. If the nose is stuffy, it's because the head is stuffy. When y'all nose stuffy, y'all ain't thinking that y'all most clearest. Get it? Put the head up. The head slowly clear out. The nose clear out. You get my point? I'm saying that so y'all can grasp certain direction of the head affect the body when you breathing. You breathing like this, you're going to make your nose stopped up. It's going to do the opposite of if you got your head up. A lot of y'all look down a lot, and so you don't have a clear passage to breathe. You do, but it's not clear as it would be. Meaning, you could sniff in and clear it out more, but you don't. You're used to it how it is. It's cool. It's enough for you to breathe how you need to. But you know, like, well, yeah, if I blow my nose right now, meaning most of y'all watching right now, you can blow your nose. Something gonna come out. You could, right now, sniff in and probably, clear it out a little more. Meaning there's something there, but it ain't enough to disturb you none. Like that. Certain different ways y'all got y'all head pointed, disturb how y'all breathe. Or it has an effect on what the breathing does internally. And so when you're doing my kind of yoga, you have to learn your stretches and how to breathe, letting the breath or the oxygen go to that place, and then restricting it when you're breathing out to kind of like squeeze the rag in perspective. I'm stretching out when I'm breathing in so the air can go everywhere, and then when I'm breathing out, breathing out, pushing the carbon out, the waste, like squeezing it out, kind of like squeezing a rag, as opposed to just leaving it loose. Then, carbon just float around, whatever comes out, comes out. So it's like stretching out and then bringing it back in. Stretching out, and you will notice like, oh, my thigh is loosening up. Meaning most of y'all could do a split in an hour like that. Go as far down as you can, then get to your breathing rhythm. Then you're going to notice, oh yeah, I can go a little deeper. It's just restricted there. Meaning it needs to be cleared out. There's mucus buildup there, restricting the movement because you haven't moved it so long. Think of mucus. You can break mucus up, but you have to water it down. This is what the breathing's. Every time y'all bring in air, cool outer air and warm in the body, cool air mixed with warm air creates. It also creates combustion because y'all carbon filled, y'all bring in oxygen. It's an explosion, meaning y'all keeping yourselves warm. Y'all keeping y'all inner flame lit when y'all breathe in oxygen to y'all carbon filled self. It's like if your house full of carbon or got the stove gas on, and you let it fill up with carbon and then crack a window, oxygen come in, whole crib blow up. Y'all are doing that every time y'all breathe, causing an explosion within self, and that's causing substance to fall. Fresh water. Kind of clear the self out, like wherever there's mucus, so on and so forth. And so while you're stretching a certain kind of way, of course you start with your ankles, then the calves, you get to that inner thigh, but you stretch in a certain kind of way. Like I said, I'd rather do it on one-on-one or small group, because I don't feel too comfortable doing all of that. Live, my yoga, my stretches ain't really for that. Like, but it would be good if I did it, but I just don't. I do my yoga and breathing naked, like how y'all wash y'all ass naked, because it's the same thing to me. And clothes cause restriction. This disturb the mind. Meaning the mind is connected to the body. You move this arm this way, it's because the mind, you get it? Or the brain. When you move your right arm apart, on the left side of your brain, a certain part is being activated or aroused in cahoots with your arm being moved. If I touch you, the brain is alerted. Meaning if I touch you, you know, because the brain is connected to every aspect of the body's movement or touch. When y'all got clothes on, y'all, you get it? It affects a certain part of your brain. It's like keeping your arm straight up. You keeping that side of the brain. You get it? And so at some point, your arms start getting tired. Because the brain can't take it no more. Put the goddamn arm down. You got this part of the brain, the valve just open. Do what you're going to do with the arm and put it down. That's why your arm get tired. You get it? Like that. Twist your arm in the position you ain't supposed to have it. At some point, it start hurting. It's the brain. When you move the arm, the leg, the feet, any part of the body, part of the brain is moving because the brain is controlling every part of the body. If a part of the body is restricted, that part of the brain is restricted. So let's say you arch your feet and you like, man, I can't arch my feet or do the split like I used to. A part of your brain is restricted. And when you do the split, that's why you feeling the pain. Because it's in the brain. And it's translating down. And so like I said, I have yoga and breathing meditations. But that's for that. You want to like not let the body get restricted. This is when you're going to start to get sick all the time. Or at least once, twice, 3 times a year, however it works for you. But you on a cycle to becoming sick. Me never getting sick is a matter of that. I keep my inner thighs, my groin area, meaning y'all keep panties on, underwears on, I let my nuts hang. And the nuts gotta get air. Your vagina gotta get air. Y'all have something covering y'all vagina and y'all vagina always be moist. And then it'd be like athlete's foot. You gotta think like that. If the foot always got a sock on it and a boot on it, then it's always sweaty. Then the foot get like athlete's footish like. We ain't even talking the smell of athlete's foot. But you get it? The wet, soggy feel of it. The vagina's like that. All wet and soggy bacteria like. This is when the vagina starts to have its problems. Meaning y'all have vaginal issues. Maybe a yeast infection, this infection, whatever. It happens because of that. Y'all vaginas never get oxygen. It's always restricted. Blood flow is important. Y'all have a menstrual cycle where y'all develop up blood and push it out. If the vagina is always restricted, that part, you interfering with your menstrual. You know, you're going to find a lot of women that live in cities in Babylon and they always got panties or thongs or something squeezing their vagina and their butt. They got menstrual cycle disorders every now and then. Or giving birth disorders would have to do with the menstrual as well. They have some sort of menstrual disorder. If not always, sometimes. If the vagina was getting air like it's always supposed to, you get my point? And so if you live alone and you a woman, at nighttime, your vagina should be getting fresh air. Why are you covered? You live by yourself. If you a man, same thing. Why you covered? You live by yourself. Every aspect of your body needs its air. You need air, your lungs need air, your balls need air. Y'all need to take y'all socks off, let y'all feet get air. That's why your feet all sweaty and you get my point? It's a deep thing. The body needs its air. So, mainly the private area. You don't want to restrict the private area. That's like restricting the head. Meaning you don't want to keep the head covered up too much. You don't want to keep the lower parts covered up too much. As above, so below. They coincide. And so, you get my point? You have different, like I said, I have different positions, different yoga stretches for that area. For men and women, it's the same stretches, but this has to do with health. Are you keeping your vibration of health? And for the most part, everything I teach got to do with just, learning self, staying aware of self, but learning what that is and then making your adjustments. You get my point? It ain't like it's not magic. The same way y'all get yourselves aggravated and y'all snap into the flow y'all in y'all Babylon flows, like that. Ever so often you're gonna have to adjust yourself. Somebody might disturb you, or a life event might happen. Break your spirit a little bit. Fuck up your vibration. When my grandma died, that happened to me, like a little bit. Kind of distorted my shit. And so you get my point? You gotta be able to adjust. Keep this self healthy. Keep perfecting the self. Learn the ego, not the way y'all know it, but the way I teach it. And you slowly chip away at that, letting it blossom up to its pinnacles, which is when you too proud to do the low life shit you do to yourself anymore. Y'all got ego against everybody in life. I'm better than this nigga, I'm better than that nigga. How about is you better than like that drink you be drinking every day? Like how about is I'm better than this weed that I smoke? Get it? Raising the ego to its pinnacle, but chipping away so that it raised perfectly. So when you have all the pride in I'm better than this and that in the world, but it ain't people. It's towards the things that's going to bring you down. You get my point? So like I said, learn everything accurately, taking your time. Everything's a different subject, different matter, but the main point of my teachings are the main tools of my teaching lies in the different aspects of meditation that I do. It may be for healing, it may be for pulling in deep thought, it may be for the many different things I told y'all. And I have my stretching and my breathing. Of course, breathing is a deep force, it's an alchemical force. Y'all carbon field, oxygen's out, y'all breathe it in. Remove breathing like oxygen and carbon, but just the force that brings them together and mixes them. That force is a powerful force. It's magnetic. It's like I told y'all, you have magnetic substances, you have magnetic metals, you have magnetic substances like semen and menstrual blood. Magnetic. Semen is magnetic, that's why it's yolky like that. You get it? If semen separate from itself, it tries to pull itself back together like it's like gooey, ooey, magnetic substance. When you can take semen between your hand and stretch it, it's like it don't want to part from itself. You get it? It will attract menstrual substance and other substances to itself in that way. Then on the mental or the astral levels, so you have the same. Magnetic, you have magnetic thoughts and many different things, but you have magnetism on every level of life. Learn these different things. There's many things I teach, but in regards to perfecting self, reaching that place of divinity, so you start somewhere. Well, it starts with the conscious cleansing, meaning removing all the ideals and perspectives that y'all already have, because it interferes with y'all learning. You get my point? If you learn wrong, you gotta like go all the way back or remove all the way back to go forward. Otherwise, whatever you learn, you're gonna add it into the wrong. It's gonna become a right and wrong mixture, like, like a waste of whole time. Yes. It's a deep thing, try to grasp. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. This is my meditation session, meaning I was meditating for myself, pulling in deep knowledge, deep juice for the self. And so I shared it with y'all. Hopefully y'all enjoyed. If you miss my ego, like I said, I was meditating. I leave my ego to the side when I'm doing my thing. And so I didn't get a chance to bring it into the video with me. But hopefully y'all enjoyed the video nonetheless and y'all grabbed something out of it. Salam, shalom, wa solace.